ストライカーだろ。俺はストライカーだ。
In the prefectural tournament finals with his team trailing 1-0, striker Yoichi Isagi, heeding the words from his coach about soccer being a team game, opts to pass the ball to his wide-open teammate rather than shooting at the goal himself, and his teammate misses. The opponent takes the ball the other way with their captain Ryosuke Kira kicking the match-clinching goal to advance to the national tournament. Sometime later, Isagi is summoned to the Japan Football Union, and he finds himself being one of 300 strikers confined at a remote soccer training facility called Blue Lock, directed by coach Jinpachi Ego, being put through a survival boot camp in order to develop the ultimate striker for the Japan national football team, with the winner becoming the team's starting striker and the rest banned from playing for the national team. The first trial is a game of tag in which the person who is struck by a kicked ball is it, and whoever is it when time expires is eliminated. The lowest-ranked striker Gurimu Igarashi starts out being it, and Isagi ends up being tagged to become it. Rather than choosing to eliminate Igarashi while he is down, Isagi takes the risk to eliminate a stronger player, and just before time expires, he tags Kira to eliminate him. In a meeting at the JFU, new recruit and creator of Blue Lock Henri Thierry criticizes the board for their way of thinking. Back at Blue Lock, Ego explains to Kira that his lack of egoism made him unfit to be the ultimate striker as he leaves Blue Lock. Ego then explains that the 11 players remaining will form Team Z and live together with the message that at times the players will work together and at other times betray each other. Afterwards, the players train and eat together. At night, Isagi practices with teammate Meguru Bachara, and Bachara explains that he has some monster inside of him that tells him the best course of action. Afterwards, Ego explains that as teams are assigned based on player rank, and Team Z has all the lowest-rated players. He then explains the next trial that will be a group play tournament against the other 4 teams in their building, one of 5 in the facility, with the top 2 teams advancing. With all players being forwards, that Ego has tasked the players to play soccer from zero. Team Z prepares to play their first match against Team X. Before the match, Ego explains that in addition to the 2 winning teams, the leading scorers from the eliminated teams will also advance. The match begins with fighting amongst teammates to advance by being the top scorer, but Team X starts to play as a team with Shohei Baru scoring the first goal as the trigger, while the infighting continues with Team Z, allowing Team X to take a 5-0 lead. The 0 on the scoreboard leads Isagi to believing that what Ego meant by playing soccer from zero means scoring the first goal. Team Z avoids the shutout with a goal by Rensuke Kunigami before time expires, to make the final score 5-1. After the match, Jingo Raichi confronts Isagi demanding to know why he passed the ball to Kunigami, despite Raichi being more wide open, while Baru advises Isagi to not be nervous in front of the goal. Back in the locker room, Isagi explains what he concluded when Ego said to play soccer from zero, pointing to Baru's goal as the catalyst. Ego then explains that while Isagi is partially correct, his message relates to the open-ended nature of a striker, pointing out that Japanese athletes are successful when they have defined roles, but struggle in sports that rely heavily on open-ended roles like in soccer. With Isagi struggling mentally, he asks Kunigami why he plays soccer, responding that he idolizes strikers as real-life superheroes and wants to become one. Kunigami also explains that goal scorers get bonus points to spend for stuff to improve quality of life at Blue Lock, and Kunigami uses his for a steak he shares with Isagi as gratitude for the assist. Kunigami also tells Isagi that he has a special talent for sensing where to go with the ball to score goals. The next day, Team Z and Team Y play a match that amounts to an elimination game, with both teams losing badly in their first match. Team Z puts their position rotation strategy into motion with Bachira starting out as the striker, but Bachira struggles as his shots get blocked. Team Y then puts their plan into motion to focus on defense, then steal the ball, and following a long pass to the team's best player Hibiki Okawa, he scores on a breakaway to give Team Y a 1-0 lead. Having taken the lead, Team Y deploys stall tactics by passing the ball around to run out the clock, but Team Z steals possession and ties the match with a goal from Gin Gagamaru, all while Isagi notices that Okawa's teammate Iki Nico is the team's true leader who is calling the shots. Having figured out that Nico possesses the same ability he has, Isagi sees his former self inside of Nico. With the match tied at 1-1, Team Y continues to play defense until the last minute. Having drawn Team Z into the offensive zone, Team Y rushes towards the goal, with Nico passing the ball to Okawa for a wide-open shot to score the game-winning goal. However, Isagi manages to run back just in time to block Okawa's shot and take possession of the ball. Isagi completes a long pass to Kumigami, who passes the ball to Bachira, and then passing it to Isagi to score and give Team Z the win by the final score of 2-1. Afterwards, the team celebrates their win with a potluck. That night, Hyoma Chigiri tells Isagi that he tore his ACL a year ago and that he is afraid that he might tear it again that would end his playing career, and Isagi lets Chigiri know that he needs to be prepared to give up everything in order to make it in the sport. The next day, Ego releases new rankings and Isagi is now Team Z's top player, while explaining that each player has a different talent that they need to figure out how to utilize. The current standings are revealed with Team V on top having won both of their matches, while the other 4 teams have 1 win each. Team Z enters their match against Team W with a great sense of urgency, knowing that their final match is against Team V, who has dominated the block. Team Z takes a 3-0 lead into halftime over Team W with a hat trick scored by Wataru Kwon. However, that lead is quickly erased at the start of the second half. With Isagi noticing that Team W is in perfect position to counter Team Z's strategy, as well as Kwon intentionally making mistakes that allowed the Wanima twins to score easy goals for Team W, Isagi correctly deduces that Kwon is betraying the team. Kwon explains that he made a deal with the Wanima twins to allow Team W to win in exchange for allowing Kwon to advance for being Team Z's leading goal scorer. And as such, they allowed Kwon to score 3 goals in the first half, and then Kwon would give away Team Z's strategy. Now, aware that the match is 10 against 12, that Isagi scrambles to figure out a new strategy. Down 4-3, with Kwon leaking Team Z's strategy to Team W, Chigiri recalls his soccer career as he was called the Genius, and played for the same high school as the Wanima twins. He was a star player known for his speed, but tore his ACL that put his career on hold and has been holding back, fearing that he might re-injure his knee that would end his career. Needing a new strategy that can't be countered by Kwon, Team Z places their hopes on Chigiri, since Kwon does not know about Chigiri's injury. With the match entering stoppage time, Isagi passes the ball to the other side of the pitch. Using his speed, having heeded Isagi's advice about being prepared to lose everything, Chigiri takes the ball and scores the equalizer in the final minute to end the match in a 4-4 draw. After the match, Kwon is beaten up by Team W for not telling them about Chigiri. Sometime later, Kwon attempts to negotiate a similar deal with Zantetsu Tsurugi, Shishiro Nagi, and Reo Mikage of Team V, but they are uninterested. Overhearing the conversation and bothered by their view of the game, Isagi confronts Team V to criticize them about their commitment to soccer. Reo explains that he got interested in soccer when watching the World Cup, but with his father wanting him to succeed him as the CEO of his family's company, that he did not approve of his soccer dream. One day, Reo encountered Nagi, and they have since become teammates. As Team Z prepares for their final match against Team V, which they must win to advance, Ego explains to Team Z that the goals they scored are not reproducible, and that reproducibility is a critical skill for a striker. With that message, Isagi asks Baru for advice on reproducibility, and after seeing him score twice on him in practice, he figures out his mechanics that leads him to mastering the art of reproducing goals. The next day, Team Z has their match with Team V, having come up with a strategy that does not involve Kuon, and the plan initially works. However, the shot misses. Off the missed shot, Ryo completes a long and risky no-look pass to Nagi on the opposite side of the pitch, and Nagi scores the first goal of the match for Team V. Team V goes up 3-0 after Nagi scores another goal using the same pass, and Zantetsu uses his speed while taking advantage of Team Z's attention on Nagi to score from long range. Realizing that their tactics are not working, Bachira awakens his monstrous self in the thrill of battle to send a message to Team Z to awaken their hidden potential to become super special. Bachira dribbles past Ryo, fakes Zantetsu out, and lobs the ball over Team V's goalkeeper to cut Team V's lead to 3-1, prompting Team Z to follow Bachira's lead to evolve and awaken their hidden abilities. Kunigami scores with a mid-range shot that fools the goalkeeper due to the lack of spin to make the score 3-2 going into halftime. The second half begins with Gagamaru's shot blocked by Zantetsu, with Isagi taking the rebound, but his hesitation allows Nagi to take the ball away. Raichi psyches Ryo out, leading Ryo to a yellow card for elbowing Raichi. Chigiri takes the free kick, and taking advantage of his superior top speed, despite Zantetsu's superior acceleration, he passes the ball to a distant spot on the pitch where only he can get to the ball, and ties the score at 3-3 with 30 minutes left in the match. Faced with the prospect of defeat after dominating all previous matches, Team Vi responds to Team Z's awakening by evolving their game. Team Vi takes the lead with a goal by Nagi kicked from an impossibly tight angle. With that goal, Nagi suddenly finds soccer fun after viewing the game as boring. In response, Chigiri makes another long pass to himself with assistance from Isagi, who blocks out Nagi from getting to the ball and shoots at the goal that is saved. Gagamaru gets the rebound and makes a shot that is blocked by Ryo. And on the rebound, Kunigami shoots and scores to tie the score at 4-4. In seeing the way his teammates are playing, Kuon recalls that he used to be enthusiastic about soccer, but his overbearing demeanor alienated his teammates. With the match entering stoppage time, Nagi breaks away for an easy goal, but Kuon tackles Nagi that gets him a red card. On the ensuing free kick outside the penalty box, Nagi's shot is blocked by Gagamaru just before it enters the net. Isagi gets the ball on the rebound as he leads the charge to make one last attempt to score the match-winning goal that gets Team Z into the next round. Isagi leads Team Z down the pitch, and using his foresight, he finds a spot to the left of Chigiri and Kunigami in front of the net, correctly anticipating that Team V would send their defenders to mark them. However, he failed to notice Nagi marking him. After going through his thought process, Isagi decides to risk it all with a direct shot and scores the match-winning goal. With the first selection completed, everybody on Team Vi and Team Z advances for finishing first and second, while Junichi Wanama, Nico, and Baru advance for being the leading scorers on the eliminated teams. In preparation for the second selection, Ego has the remaining strikers undergo physical conditioning. Sometime later, the remaining strikers gather, and Ego reveals that all buildings at Blue Lock were actually labeled as Building 5 to get everybody to experience inferiority. He then explains that the first selection was about understanding what being a striker is about, and the second selection will be a series of individual challenges in 5 stages, in which only teams of 5 strikers will make it through to the end. In the first stage, Isagi enters a small soccer ground where he sees a holographic Blue Lock man appear with a holographic gate and goal zone. Given 90 minutes to score 100 goals, Isagi clears the round and improves his shooting. When he enters the second stage, he sees Nagi and Ryo among other players. A message appears, telling them to form a team of 3 to proceed to the next stage. Moments later, Bachira appears and immediately forms his team with Isagi. Initially planning to take Kunigami or Chigiri as their third member, Nagi offers Isagi to join his team. He declines, as he has already made his team with Bachira. Nagi opts to join them, leaving Reo. Moving to the third stage, they find a team consisting of Rin Itoshi, Jubei Ryu, and Aoshi Tokumitsu, the highest-ranked players. Ego explains they are free to choose their opponents. The team who scores 5 goals first will win. The winning team can choose any member from the losing team. Isagi and his team decide to play against Rin's team. The match starts between Isagi's team, in white, and Rin's team, in red. Team White scores a goal working together but is tied when Rin lands a shot from kickoff. In the next round, a pass to Isagi from Bachira is intercepted by Ryu, using his height and long limbs to steal the ball and score. When Bachira attempts to outmaneuver Tokumitsu next round, his skittish and meek demeanor suddenly gives way to monstrous speed and strength, overwhelming Bachira and Isagi to score. Nagi attempts a formation between the three of them to block their opponent's individual strengths, allowing them to score. Rin attempts another shot at kickoff but is blocked by Isagi, putting the ball out of bounds. Believing they have him locked down, Rin's ability to curve shots allows him to score from the corner with ease. With 1 goal left for Team Red, Team White uses the formation again. Bachira gives the ball to Isagi and Rin moves behind him. Despite Isagi believing the space was open to score, Rin steals the ball and scores the winning goal for Team Red. They select Bachira to join them and proceed to the next stage. Returning to the second stage, Isagi and Nagi realize they are being tested on their individual strengths. To Isagi's surprise, Baru and former Team Z teammate Asahi Naruhaya are among the unselected. Baru, despite his excellent shooting, was not chosen for his selfish attitude. While training, Isagi is approached by Naruhaya. Knowing that their lesser skill compared to Baru and Nagi will lead to their disqualification from Blue Lock should they lose, the two agree to play against each other. At the start of the match, Baru takes the ball from Nagi, showcasing his increased shooting range and scoring. In the next round, Isagi passes to Nagi, who uses his fine control to bypass Baru, allowing him to score. Later, Baru takes the ball, but refuses to pass it to Naruhaya. Isagi steals it and passes it to Nagi for another goal. Angered, Baru tries a shot from kickoff next round but misses the net. Isagi runs for the ball but is beaten by Naruhaya, who passes it to Baru for a goal. He reveals the true reason they challenged them is that they know of Isagi's inability to score alone. When Baru passes to Naruhaya, he makes his way past Isagi and shoots. Though Naruhaya's shot hits the post, Baru takes possession and scores. Next round, Isagi passes to Nagi as they rush the net, where he scores. Baru shoots from kickoff again, but Nagi blocks it. Isagi takes possession, but Naruhaya steals it, passing to Baru to score. Isagi realizes that Naruhaya always positions himself in his blind spot, allowing him to get close unnoticed, similar to Rin. Nagi scores again, tying the game. It is revealed that Naruhaya's desire to succeed stems from wanting to support his struggling family after their parents' deaths. Baru tries once more to shoot from kickoff but is blocked. Emulating Isagi's direct shot, Naruhaya shoots but hits the post. Nagi takes possession and Isagi heads to the net, causing Baru to follow him. Seeing Baru change targets, Isagi sprints to the net, emulating Naruhaya's footwork. Nagi passes the ball and Isagi scores, winning the match. Naruhaya laments his missed shot. Isagi claims either team could have won, but Naruhaya declares him the superior player. Isagi selects Baru to join the team, but thanks Naruhaya for helping him improve. On the previous day, angered that Bachira and Isagi had left them, Kunigami and Chigiri approach Reo to join them, who accepts in order to defeat Nagi for leaving him. At a JFU meeting, Tayeri reports that in Blue Lock, different players going against and working with each other is how they will find the best. The board disagrees and wants the most talented player available. Ego criticizes them for wanting someone who may seem successful but will suffer due to a lack of preparation. To him, talent isn't being born with gifts or physicality, but the skills to improve them. Isagi and Nagi learn that Baru is particular in maintaining a regime, be it cleanliness or intense training. His self-discipline is the key to his developed shooting and physique. At the public bath, Isagi is surprised to see Kunigami and Chigiri are still in the third stage. Joined by the rest of their teams, all agree to play each other. Isagi decides to be the link between Nagi and Baru since both refuse to cooperate. Meanwhile, Tokimitsu and Aryu struggle to find a team unafraid to play them, and Bachira attempts to show Rin that soccer can be enjoyable, not just a competition. At the match's start, Baru takes the ball and Kunigami marks him. His refusal to pass allows Reo to bypass Isagi and steal the ball, passing it to Chigiri. He outpaces Nagi and lands the first goal. Isagi passes to Baru intent on scoring, but his refusal to pass it back allows Kunigami to score. Next round, he passes to Nagi instead, who is able to avoid Chigiri and score. Isagi once again tries to work with Baru, who declares he'd rather lose than change his play. Nonetheless, Baru angrily admits that he is not winning with his skills. Next round, as Reo takes possession, Isagi realizes he is the link between Kunigami and Chigiri since his skills are balanced. Chigiri takes it and passes in front of the net, where Kunigami headers a goal. Isagi decides that instead of adapting to Baru, he will force him to follow instead. He pretends to pass to him, tricking Baru and his opponents and allowing Nagi to take possession. Surrounded and with Baru calling for the ball, Nagi passes to an unimpeded Isagi and he scores. Next round, Baru takes the ball but is marked by Kunigami and Reo. Isagi takes the ball and passes it to Nagi, who scores. However, Chigiri uses a new gentle kick to avoid slowing down while dribbling and scores by himself. Elsewhere, in the third stage, Junichi Wanema decides to team up with Raichi and Gagamaru. With Isagi's team down 1 point, Baru shoots the ball at the goal directly from the kickoff and misses. Kunigami gets the loose ball and passes it to Reo, who tries to pass it to Chigiri but is marked by Baru. He thinks about taking the shot, but instead passes to Isagi, who ties the game. Isagi and Nagi then strategize without telling Baru their plan, while Baru sorts out his feelings. Play resumes with Reo taking the ball and trying to pass it to Chigiri after running behind Nagi towards the net, but Nagi intercepts the pass and Baru gets the loose ball. He goes down the pitch having awakened and fakes out Kunigami with a chop, then Reo with another chop, and then scores the match-winning goal. Afterwards, Baru explains to Isagi and Nagi that he had been the lead actor on the pitch this whole time, but those two were the first to steal the lead away from him. While watching the match, Ego explains to Teiri that dealing with defeat is a critical aspect as Baru demonstrated resilience in that match. Isagi decides on which team member to select, with a match against Bachira looming. Isagi chooses Chigiri, believing he can generate the greatest chemical reaction. Nagi unexpectedly ends his friendship with Reo as he and Kunigami move back to the second stage, while Isagi, Nagi, Baru, and Chigiri move up to the fourth stage. As Isagi's team rests inside the break room, Isagi and Baru talk about the kind of soccer they want to play, as Baru is asking in order to devour his skills in the next match. Meanwhile, as Bachira prepares, he looks back at his life as he was hooked on soccer from an early age and largely played soccer alone due to other boys seeing him as a monster, and his mother is a famous painter. After painting a picture for Bachira, he began to imagine a monster and played against it when playing alone. He was invited to Blue Lock, where he can play soccer the way he wants. Isagi leaves the break room and encounters Rin and Bachira in the hallway, declaring that he will win and get Bachira back. The match between Isagi's team, in white, and Rin's team, in red, begins with Bachira taking the kickoff, and after making an unconventional move, Isagi steals the ball. He passes to Nagi, who then passes to a spot expecting Chigiri to get there with his speed. He gets the ball and scores to give Team White the first point. On the next possession, Isagi has Bachira tightly marked, but Bachira gets the ball away with a no-look pass that Ryu gets to first, passing to Tokimitsu to set up Rin, who had precisely calculated the turn of events to score. After a break to strategize with Isagi explaining how Rin's vision is exceptional, Isagi attempts to sneak out and receive a long pass from Chigiri while the opponents are focused on Nagi, but Rin is not fooled and intercepts the pass. He passes to Bachira, who passes high to where only Ryu can reach it, allowing him to score. Nagi reflects on how Bachira is making him all fired up. On the next possession, Team White executes the same play, but this time to set Nagi up. Nagi receives the pass, and after faking Rin out, uses the opportunity to score to tie the match at 2-2. Watching the match, Taeri considers Nagi's goal to be a miracle, which Ego counter-argues. With the match tied, play continues with Rin passing the ball to Tokimitsu, who passes it to Ryu, then to Rin. He then fakes a pass to Bachira to get Isagi out of position, allowing him to score. Team White strategizes as they look for a way to get out of Rin's vision. Play resumes as Team White deploys their tactic to try and set up Isagi from Rin's blind spot, but he anticipates the move and sneaks up in front of Isagi. However, Baru steals the ball from Isagi, with Rin failing to account for his selfish playing style, allowing him to tie the game. On the ensuing kickoff, Nagi and Chigiri swap marking assignments. They both mark Bachira to confuse Team Red, allowing Baru to steal the ball and break away. However, Rin quickly reacts to Baru and manages to knock the ball out of bounds to stop Baru's goal-scoring attempt. Play resumes with a throw-in, and Team Red takes advantage of Team White's fatigue and Tokimitsu's freshness as he takes the ball and breaks away, leading to Baru and Chigiri committing fouls that get them yellow cards. On the free kick, Rin shoots the ball that arcs precisely over Isagi and drops into the net to give Team Red the 4-3 lead. Play resumes with Isagi taking the kickoff and passing to Chigiri after outrunning Ryu for the ball. Isagi positions himself after a diagonal move to create an opening. Rin sneaks up behind Isagi to try and take the ball away, but having correctly anticipated this course of action, he turns his back towards the goal and shoots with his back heel to tie the match at 4-4 with the next goal, deciding the winner. Play resumes with Tokimitsu taking the kickoff and passes the ball to Rin, who passes it high to Ryu to take advantage of his high-jumping ability, and Ryu passes to Bachira. Chigiri steals the ball from Bachira, and Isagi and Baru pass the ball back and forth. Bachira makes a tackle attempt at Isagi after hearing his inner voice, but Isagi dodges it and shoots the ball. At the last second, Rin blocks the shot with his head. Bachira takes the ball the other way and in doing so, shakes off the monster inside him in order to score himself. Bachira shoots, but his shot is blocked by Isagi. The ball lands in front of Rin, allowing him to take the winning goal for his team. He selects Isagi to join them in order to defeat him one day. Though disheartened, Chigiri, Baru, and Nagi refuse Isagi's words of support and allow him to take his place with Rin's team. Isagi asks Rin on how he had surpassed him in order to understand, but Rin answers it was simply luck. Ego lectures them on the topic, stating that luck is not just coincidental, but an element they can utilize. Noting how Rin took the chance of running to where he believed the ball might land when it could have been anywhere. The team now faces the World Five: Spain's Leonardo Luna, England's Adam Blake, Argentina's Pablo Cabassos, Brazil's Dada Silva, and France's prodigious star Julian Loki. During a break, Isagi asks Rin about his relationship with his brother, who states they are not antagonistic with each other but competitive. At the match's kickoff, Bachira dribbles past Cabassos and gives it to Rin, who lands the first goal against the Five. Despite scoring the first goal, the team is overwhelmed by the World Five's superior skills and loses. While Isagi, Bachira, Ryu, and Tokimitsu are humbled, Rin takes the loss poorly. At a JFU meeting, Blue Lock is nearly cancelled due to high spending and a lack of faith from board members. Ego decides to show them the outcome of Blue Lock's training and offers a proposal. After playing the 5, the team moves to the second stage of the selection and meets the remaining 6 teams. Among them are Nagi, Baru, Chigiri, Zantetsu, Nico, Raichi, Gagamaru, Wanima, Igarashi, and Reo. Isagi asks Reo about Kunigami after seeing he was not selected, but the last player to appear, the eccentric and aggressive Ryusei Shido, antagonizes him by stating he was the one to disqualify Kunigami, earning Chigiri and Bachira's ire. Ego informs the finalists about a change with the next selection, now a match between them and Japan's U-20 team, which includes Rin's brother Sei. If they lose, the program will be shut down, but if they win, they can supersede the team's positions. Ego remarks about his faith in them, believing they can win.